Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Um, well, everything has been going on, the coronavirus is still going crazy, and I'm so tired of talking about it, but I have a few more things that I need to say because it's been crazy. And so, as you know, I did a video about my son's school finally closing down, and they gave me a newsletter. Actually, the principal gave me a newsletter as I was dropping him off at school. It's in English and in Spanish. And it says, Sunday, March 15, 2020, the Bakersfield City School District. For the past week, the Bakersfield City School District Administration has worked tremendously in addressing the concerns related to the COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. The health and safety of our students and staff is our top priority. Each decision, of course, with the education that has not come lightly. Through the concerns, we have decided to close the district schools effective on Wednesday, March 18, 2020, until further notice. It's like, and then now the governor of California says that people over 63 can no longer go outside. They have to be quarantined. So my dad's 65. So my brothers and sisters are going out there and texting my dad, you are not allowed to go outside. And so I have a lot of family members who are doctors. And one of my cousins who lives in Mexico, who lives on the border between Texas and Mexico, she lives in Chihuahua. She teaches dentistry. She's a dentist. And she's her classrooms and everything and her colleges are closed. So they're closed down for the whole entire, whenever this whole outbreak breaks. And she lived in Mexico. And so she was texting my dad telling her, don't go outside, don't do this deal, and stay home and play Jenga and watch movies. And if you need to pay your bills, try to pay them online. And if you need to go to the bank, go to the kiosk and run back home and wipe your hands and this and that. And it's just like an outbreak. It's like, how do you tell your own parent, you being the child, telling your own parent they have to stay home? It's like telling a little kid, hey, don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that. And the next thing you know, they're going to be like, what did I tell you? Don't touch it. How are you going to sit there and punish your parents for going outside? So I was watching this article on Facebook. I don't know if it's true or not, but my friend posted it. And they're saying that in Puerto Rico, they're starting to fine people who are not following the rules because they're in shutdown. And if they're not staying in quarantine and not following the rules, people who break those rules are going to get fined. And a lot of people here in the United States keep talking about martial law, that it's going to become a martial law to where if you don't, how do you say, follow the rules, you're going to get stuck in these places, and everybody's fearful of those. And then I have severe allergies. I went to the doctors, got tested, and everything was tested for allergies, and everything else came out negative. Thank the Lord. So every time I cough, I get all these crazy people looking at me like, but I cover my mouth, and sometimes I take a mask. Well, I'm running out of masks. And it's like I am tired of people rolling their eyes going, ah, which I get it. It's an epidemic, but you know what? There's a lot of memes, a lot of videos out there. Toilet paper is the biggest meme that I've seen. People selling toilet paper for thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's like everybody's panicking. And I was reading this article, the influenza and the flu, just the general flu and the cold itself kills more people than the coronavirus itself every year. And that's something that my cousin, who's a doctor, said, that he's an actual medical physician. He works in the ER, and he sent it to my dad, and then he said, send this to all your children. And then he goes, so he sent it in an email, and he doesn't have a Facebook or nothing like that. So he sent it in an email, and he forwarded it to my dad, to me, and then my dad forwarded it to all his, my cousins and and myself and my brothers and sisters. And he's like, no need to panic. Just do your daily necessities of washing your hands. Once you're done washing your hands, get a sanitizing cloth and just wipe your face if you have to. If you have to wear a mask, because I work at a retail store, so he's all wear a mask. Stay 10 feet away from people. Talk 10 feet away. Follow the 10-foot rule. Just stay away from people. And he's like, do whatever you can to prevent it. He goes, but people are always going to panic and go the wrong way. And this is ridiculous to have to sit there and go, hey, Dad, you can't go outside. You got to stay home. And my mom's 62. She's not 63. She's 62. So she don't qualify. But she does have a lot of health issues. She has thyroid problems. So that's one of my dad's main concerns is she has thyroids. And mine is I have asthma. Very bad asthma. And that's why I cough up. Because I've had my asthma act up more this year than I have in recent years. My allergies have gotten severe to where they activated my asthmatics and my asthma. My doctor told me this is why you're having more asthma attacks, because the air and the weather and everything has gone out of control. So I've been running to the back to get my inhaler, and I've been wheezing, and I was like, oh. And so my cousin goes, why don't you just get a soda? He's all, a cold Dr. Pepper or Pepsi has enough of that same adjective. Just drink it while it's freezing cold, and it helps release some of the asthma symptoms. I was like, cool, I didn't know that. So that's what I've been doing. Because everybody sees me with a bottle of Coke, and I'm like, I am not trying to drink this to drink it. I'm trying to drink it because as long as it stays cold and it's fresh, it helps with my asthma. And one lady who's a nurse was like walking around. She's like, that is so true. It does. It's a good tip to know. And so, right now a lot of people are panicking. If you're a person who is sick and has like a cough because of your allergies, like I do, or have asthma, and people look at you like you're weird, I'm raising my hand because that's what's happening to me every single day. It's like I am so over it that I just want to go, ugh. And this is my view on it. If they quarantine bars, if they have to quarantine gyms, if the schools have to be quarantined where they have to be locked down, what is that for the rest of us that work retail? People are going to shop, and people are going to come in, all likes of walks. So we can't control who has the virus and who's sick. They're not going to listen. They're not going to stay home because they need their staples. They need toilet paper. They need food. They need water, or whatever they may need. They're going to have to come to the store at one point, and sooner or later somebody's going to get it. And then what's going to happen is they're going to spread. This is how the outbreak is going to be. We need to think and stop panicking and just start thinking of a solution. So our store, what they started doing is cutting down people's hours. And I'm like, how is that going to help? So other than hurt on paychecks, so instead of me working a full 8-hour shift, now I'm working a 4 or 5 hour shift, meaning I go to work at 4:30 and get off at 11. And it's like, really? It's like, thanks to the coronavirus, my check is now like this. And now I gotta panic and worry about how I'm gonna fit my budget into those paychecks and pay all my bills. Are they gonna pay my bills? Of course not. And now they have an option at work where they can say, due to the coronavirus, if you feel uncomfortable, the CEO said, if you feel uncomfortable and you don't feel coming to work because you feel sick, you can stay home. You can choose to either use PTO, which is your own pay period, so you can pay out yourself using PTO, or you can not choose to get paid, so you can just stay home and you won't get affected. So meaning you won't get a point, because you won't get affected to where they'll fire you or give you a point until April. And it's like, yeah, but who wants to stay home and not get paid? I gotta go to work because I got bills to pay. So if I stay home and I only have 30 hours of PTO time, I don't want to use up all my PTO time because that's only, what, 3 or 4 days, and then how am I going to make it up? Because the way our PTO works is for every 15, how many years you've been there, let's say you've been there 20 years, it doesn't take you that long to accumulate hours. So I've been there 8 years exactly this year, going on 9. And if for every 15 or 16 hours I work an 8-hour shift, I get 2.3 hours of PTO. And then so 2.3 goes to regular PTO, and then 2 point something goes to PTO, which is protected PTO, which is my sick PTO. And it's like it takes longer and longer to accumulate because of the fact that I'm not working 8-hour shifts every day. So it's like I'm wasting my own PTO for nothing. Sooner or later, I'm going to end up with 0. And then I'm really going to have nothing to, when I really get sick or something and I really need that PTO, who's going to pay me? So that's why I tell people, don't panic. Don't use your PTO. Don't just go home just because. I mean, if your mommy and daddy take care of you, then great. But my mom and daddy don't take care of me. I got to take care of myself. And I have an 11-year-old son. And people are like, oh, why don't you just leave your son at home? You know, my son has ADHD, has Asperger's, has Tourette's. There is no way in the world that I'm going to leave that child at home by himself like that. Any parent that has a child with any type of disorder, like, mental or disability disorder, they know what I'm talking about. You just can't leave your child. I trust my child completely. I just don't trust what he has. And I always tell him that it's not you that I'm not trusting. It's I'm not trusting your ADHD because I don't know what you would do. Because sometimes he finally learned how to use the stove, and he was making quesadillas. And he was making himself quesadillas, but he didn't realize what he did. He left the quesadillas, the bag of quesadillas, right next to the stove, and all of a sudden the quesadilla bag started melting because it was next to the heat, and it started almost catching on fire until I looked at him and said, "What are you doing, son?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, Mom." And he's like, "I didn't see that. I didn't know." And it's because kids like that with ADHD don't understand concept. They don't get the concept of what if. Because my son usually says, well, if there's a guy at my school and he has a gun, because when we were panicking about all the schools getting shot, not that long ago, where every week somebody was getting shot and somebody was going out killing people like crazy. He was like, well, if somebody went to my school, my son was like, and they had a gun, I would go out there and I would take his gun away. And I'm like, you can't do that. What if he shoots you first? And he's like, well, I would have to dodge the bullet and go. And I'm like, see, they have no fear. Kids like that, even though he knows that he's gonna die and that there's nothing he can do, kids with ADHD or whatever it is, they have no fear concept. So that's one of my main reasons why I told my boss, I can't just leave him at home. It's like, there is no way. I said, my kid is not normal like you and I. Even define normality, you can't. Nowadays, in order to define normality, it's like what is normal and what is not. There is no such thing. Normality is what we define as a society. It's whatever society thinks it's normal. It's no longer how it should be normal. You look at the Bible and it tells you all kinds of different things. And I've been doing a lot of meditation and praying, and God has sent me some stuff that I feel like He's been telling me. It's like He says, I have plans for you to prosper and not to harm you. So I know that this is going to happen, but I'm still with you. And that's how I feel safe. I feel secure with Him because I feel like I am protected. I am loved. And as long as He's with me, I don't worry. And a lot of people are not and believe in God. A lot of people say, yeah, so they panic. And I'm not putting them down or saying, hey, you have to believe in God, because a lot of people don't. And then the people that do believe in God, they're like, ugh, she's just talking nonsense. Because I know I have family members that are atheists. And all they tell me is, oh, you believe in a story in a little book. And it's like, okay, that's your decision. That's what you believe in. And I'll respect that. At the end of the day, we're just panicking in the wrong way. And I keep saying that in all my videos, because if you have seen every single video that I've done about the coronavirus, that's what I talk about. Like, I did the video with my stores and I showed how empty the shelf was, and I sent it to my family members. My sister was like, "Oh, stop being so negative and start thinking positive." And I was like, I wasn't sending it to be negative. I was sending it to show you, hey, if you need stuff, you better hurry, because there's really nothing. Everything's getting sold out. And let me know what you need so that I can try to find it for you, so that I can try to get it for you, or tell you, hey, it's here. I'll hold on to it for you. Come and get it. You know, it's an epidemic right now, and it reminds me of the Black Plague, like back in those days where everybody was dying of the Black Plague. And there was this story that I read in my history book when I was in my history class in high school about this lady who went in her room and she had gotten infected, and they don't know why she survived. And she went in there and drank 4 bottles of olive oil. She just got olive oil, and I was like, ew, how can you? But they think maybe that's why she survived. And in that book, they were saying, trying to figure out why she survived and what she did. And they were saying that she was like immune to it or something. Maybe she had some kind of immunity to it, because it was weird. She was one of the few that were surviving the Black Plague. And so I feel like this is like the Black Plague for us. Like, everybody's acting out of control, and nobody is acting in a righteous manner. People are buying toilet paper and hoarding it and selling it. I've seen people standing outside and saying, "I'll sell you my toilet paper for $100," and I'm just like, no thanks. I'd rather do it the old Hispanic way, like I did when I was in Mexico. Just get my ass in the shower and wash it off with soap and shower. It's like, use your own bidet kind of thing. So a lot of people are doing memes about that, making your own bidet. And then, but when I looked at articles and viewed other cities around the world, even though Italy has the worst epidemic, just like South Korea and China, they're not acting the way us Americans are acting. So it's kind of sad to see that. I was watching a video of this guy in Italy. He had the doors closed, but he opened his apartment complex, and he was singing outside, and everybody else was singing around him, and they were all just singing along with him, and it was like very beautiful, tranquil to see. And then in Spain, this guy was it was on the news, because they're also in quarantine. He couldn't go to his gym, and so they locked down the gym. And so instead of being stuck, he was a gym instructor. So he went on top of his roof of his house, and all these people that lived in this apartment, he told them, come out of your apartments and go onto your balcony. So they all went and had like a little balcony, and he was doing exercises with them. He was doing like a hour routine. They were doing push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, and he was giving them a lesson for free right outside. And he was like, this is not going to stop us and slow us down. And people were exercising, and I was like, that's kind of neat. Over here in America, people are trying to sell, and make a profit. And I'm just like, why are we being so narcissistic to the point to where people are getting rude? I've seen people fighting videos, and people fighting over the toilet paper. I've seen people calling each other names, because there's, like, I had a phone call yesterday that was so surprising to me. This guy called, and he sounded very aggressive, and he was like, do you guys have any toilet paper? And I said, no. And he goes, man, he was like, why not? And I said, because, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I'll tell you why. He goes, all these baby bastards. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, everybody and their mama, all their baby bastards, are acting like brats. And he's all, they wish they would quit acting like brats. And he was like, I hope to God on their mother if they get it. And he goes, I hope to God on their baby mamas, they all get the coronavirus. He's all, because this is so stupid. And everybody's getting mad because they can't find what they need. So we're acting just as stupid as they are. And it's like a vicious cycle that's going on and on and on and on and on. So I hope with this video, what we take from it is that we bring in peace, tranquility, and share the love. Like, just say hi to your neighbor. Like, be like, hi him from far away. Stay 10 feet away from people. And learn to be kind to one another. I cannot express that. Humans' kindness has gone to the drain here. And I feel like we're losing that. So we need to stop being so narcissistic and rude to each other. Just lift each other up during this time of need instead of being so negative, because everybody else in the world is looking at us like we're idiots. I've seen so many people call us idiots. Even in Canada, my sister-in-law was like, oh, our schools are shut down too. She's like, but we're not acting like you guys. You guys are acting like fools. And I'm like, people are acting like fools. I'm like, not everybody is acting like a fool, but people are acting like fools. So I hope you guys take this video and learn to be, like Ellen says, be kind to one another. And I totally agree. We have to learn how to be kind to one another in this time of need, so we can all become a better human race. Love you guys. I hope you guys like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell if you guys haven't. I thank you all who have liked my channel. I really appreciate you, all my subscribers. I think you guys are amazing. I love you guys, and I hope you guys continue to like what I'm giving you guys. I hope my videos are influential and they inspire you guys to be a better person. And I hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. And I'll see you guys later because I got to get ready to go to work. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.